Ah. Hear me. What is that? And
Had to.
Last chance.
Good, Chris. Okay. I'd like to start the regular session of the Isabella County Board of Commissioners to order.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, a roll call, please.
Commissioner Hutchinson,
Here.
Commissioner Embry, Commissioner Jazinski, Commissioner Engler, Commissioner Marino, Commissioner Swaney, Commissioner Hope. All present, Mr. Chairman, except for Commissioner Embry.
Clerk. Up next would be approval of the agenda. We'll start with general public comments, and we have no present appointments. Under consent agenda, we will approve and place on file the consent agenda. And then committee reports, Finance and Administration Committee.
Finance Administration Committee is all set, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Criminal Justice and County Affairs Committee.
Criminal Justice and County Affairs is all set, Mr. Chair.
Human Resources and Public Works Committee.
Human Resources and Public Works Committee is all set, Mr. Chair.
Very good. We have no intergovernmental affairs, no administrator controller issues, no unfinished business. Under new business, we have the Isabella County Administrator Controller Employment Agreement. And then is there anything we need to add to new business?
Chairperson Hope, I'd like to add a motion to, under new business, item B. Approving recommendation for from legal counsel.
So is there a motion to approve the agenda as amended with item B? Motion to approve the
Recommendation.
recommendation. Thank you, from legal counsel. Couldn't think of the word. Thank you. Is there a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
I move that we approve the agenda as amended with
Support.
be added.
Been moved and supported. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And that brings us to general public comment. Is there anyone?
I guess I'm going to be persistent. I don't know if that's the only way to get things done, is just to keep trying to get people to hear and listen and pay attention. We all know that DTE has a stronghold in Isabella County with its hundreds of turbines and recently solar projects approved. What's next for Isabella County farmland? I can tell you the love of money over the love of the land will bring more turbines, more solar projects, and dangerous battery storage facilities, along with high-tension power lines. The next projects for industrial solar may not be with DTE, but with investment firms that get sold to foreign countries or go bankrupt. Just do a little research and you will find instances of this happening. I urge this board to suspend any new solar, battery, or wind projects until your Planning Commission can update its nearly 8-year-old energy ordinance. I think you all need to go back and review Isabella County's master plan because it emphasizes the needs of agriculture and rural landscapes. What good is a master plan if it's not followed? There's nothing in the rules where your Planning Commission cannot limit the amount of projects in a township or the size of a project in a township. There are several ordinances out there that state only a percentage of the land can be used for energy development. The green energy is more like greed energy, and people cannot see this, are blind. and people that cannot see this are blind to what has been happening in Michigan and across the United States. Approving these projects is not going to solve anyone's money or energy problems. As a matter of fact, I believe in the long run, it's going to cause money problems with higher energy rates, and many people and agribusinesses will suffer. As far as Act 233 and the citing of energy projects, there is a litigation out there, and there are hopes of it being overturned or modified. Over 70 townships and counties are part of the lawsuit, and even more townships and counties have resolutions in support of the lawsuit. Don't let the energy companies take over. Don't trust a thing they say. As I am sure you're aware of Gratiot County's lawsuit and settlement, where they got the short end of the deal with the turbines. DTE will take advantage of the current climate and our subsidies to take over anything and everything they can. Look into the future. You are condemning the rural landscape to servitude for ineffective, insufficient, and unreliable energy and taking away a valuable resource for generations. You have heard me say this before, but I'm going to be persistent. You are willing to sacrifice what is best for the benefit of the people most affected and are caving into the few who stand to benefit the most. Think about this and put a pause on projects until a new ordinance can be put in place. Regarding some new information, I'd like to put some information through to your administrator, if that's possible, for you guys to review. In St. Clair County, the medical director of the health department there has issued a statement regarding the negative health issues. And I would like to hand that over to you to review. So I'd like to get that email of the administrator if I could. Thank you.
Any other general public comment? Seeing none. We'll move right along. Consent agenda. Commissioner Hutchinson, would you?
I sure can. Motion reads, move to approve and place on file the November 19th, 2024 work session meeting minutes, the November 19th, 2024 regular meeting minutes, the November 26th, 2024 special meeting minutes, the November 26th, 2024 Finance and Administration Committee meeting minutes, the November 26th, 2024 Criminal Justice and County Affair Committee meeting minutes, and the November 26th, 2024 Human Resources and Public Work Committee meeting minutes.
Support.
Been moved and supported to approve and place on file the consent agenda. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Unopposed? Very good. Brings us to committee reports, Finance and Administration Committee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The first item is November 15th, 2024 invoice list, the November 22nd, 2024 invoice list, and the November 28th, 2024 adjustment list. Motion reads, move to ratify and place on file the November 15, 2024 invoice list in the amount of $231,504.94. The November 22nd, 2024 invoice list in the amount of $155,142.58 in the adjustment list dated November 28, 2024.
Support.
Been moved and supported to ratify and place on file the November 15th, 2024 invoice list, the November 22nd, 2024 invoice list, and the November 28th, 2024 adjustment list. Discussion.
So we've had a number of opportunities to look at the proposed payment of these invoices. On the November 15th list, there's about 10 bills that are over $5,000, with the remaining balance of the bills lesser than that. Of the bills that are over $5,000, the bulk of them are for childcare, day treatment, and supervised of our youth that have been required to have that care by the trial courts. That is approaching $100,000. We have a $31,408.19 bill to High Point Community Bank, which is payment on a Mission Creek Drain 471 loan payment. We have some smaller bills that between the 5,000 and 10,000. Are there any questions on those bills or any of the background bills in this November 15th list? All right, move on then to the November 22nd list. We have even fewer of the larger bills. There's only 6 of them that exceed the $5,000 threshold. The biggest, again, is $43,000 payment to McBride Quality Care for day treatment care of youth as directed by the trial court. We have a $14,540 payment to a person that is being paid restitution for a loss in a criminal action. Then we also have a Spectrum Printers, $8,297.53 for the November 24th election ballots and supplies needed by the clerk. We have manpower, it was $5,087.44, weekly contracted labor for recycling. And we have a Michigan State Industries, $9,294.30 for correctional facility mattresses for the Sheriff's Department's new correctional facility. Then we have a payment of $13,750 to KLP Ventures for preparation of 277 delinquent property tax notices that will be served by the treasurer's office. Any questions on any of those 6 bills or any of the background bills? Hearing none. The corrections list, which modifies those 2 invoice lists. And all of them that are listed here were either early payment for getting a discount or early payment for not having to pay a late fee. We do have some timely rent payments for the facilities that we're renting right now because we don't have access to our administration building. Any questions on any of the adjustments? Hearing none?
Hearing no further discussion, Madam Clerk, a roll call, please.
Commissioner Jazinski, Commissioner Engler, Commissioner Marino, Commissioner Swaney, Commissioner Hutchinson, Commissioner Hope. 6 ayes, 0 nays. Motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
Our next item is Budget Amendment 2025-03. Motion reads, move to approve Budget Amendment 2025-03 to increase the fiscal year 25 budget to account for annual temporary location expenses, rent, storage, and utilities, and authorize the board chairperson to sign the same.
Support.
Been moved and supported to approve budget amendment number 2025-03. Discussion.
So I think more than a year ago, we approved the contract for these rental areas to house our elected offices and department head functions. We had hoped that by this time we'd have a solution and be back in our administration building, which did not materialize. So those dollars were not included in the 2025 budget, so we need to amend the budget to include $280,000. And this is for a number of properties on Pickard and also one on Broadway to house our functions. It includes rent, utilities. I think there was something else too, but
Storage.
thank you. This will then correct it, so we'll have the funds in which to pay our monthly rental as we move forward through the fiscal year.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, a roll call, please.
Commissioner Marino, Commissioner Swaney, Commissioner Hutchinson, Commissioner Jazinski, Commissioner Engler, Commissioner Hope. 6 ayes, 0 nays. Motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
Next item, Budget Amendment 2025-04. Motion reads, move to approve Budget Amendment 2025-04 to increase the fiscal year 25 budget for the county's cash match on the Isabella County Sheriff's Office and Correctional Facility Project and authorize the board chairperson to sign the same.
Support.
Been moved and supported to approve budget amendment number 2025-04. Discussion.
So we're coming to the near end of the completion of this project, but we still have an obligation to pay the county's portion of of that, the cost of construction. And this is this is a transfer to the jail construction fund of $1,113,962 as an expenditure. And it's coming out of a fund balance, committed fund balance to the Sheriff's Office Correctional Facility project.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, a roll call, please.
Commissioner Swaney, Commissioner Hutchinson, Commissioner Jazinski, Commissioner Engler, Commissioner Marino, Commissioner Hope. 6 ayes, 0 nays. Motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
Next item is Budget Amendment 2025-05. Motion reads, move to approve Budget Amendment 2025-05 to increase the fiscal year 25 budget for administration, building, architect, design contract, and pre-construction services, and authorize the board chairperson to sign the same.
Support.
Been moved and supported to approve budget amendment number 2025-05. Discussion.
So we've been spending about the last year planning to determine how we're going to restructure that administration building after we remove the asbestos. And so we've had both Spence Brothers Sagno and Spicer Group out of Mount Pleasant doing professional services for us, engineering, architectural design. And so we have an obligation to pay for that service, which is $126,500. And so that increases the expenditure line item for the closure of the administration building, and it does come from our fund balance unassigned. But this will give us the ability to pay for services received to this point, and I believe they're going to finish the rendition of a design using all 3 floors as we move forward. But it does not include any construction management services, which we did not move forward with at the last meeting.
Very good. Any further discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, a roll call, please.
Commissioner Hutchinson, Commissioner Jazinski, Commissioner Engler, Commissioner Marino, Commissioner Swaney, Commissioner Hope. 6 ayes, 0 nays. Motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
Chairman, that completes the Finance and Administration Committee meeting work for tonight.
Thank you, Vice Chair Jelezinski. That will bring us to Criminal Justice and County Affairs Committee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Our first item up is the fiscal year 25 Swift Insure Sanction Probation Program Grant Contract. The motion reads, move to approve the FY 25 Swift Insure Sanction Probation Program Grant Contract in the amount of $228,000 and authorize court administrator to utilize DocuSign to sign the same.
Support.
Been moved and supported to approve the fiscal year 25 Swift Insure Sanctions Probation Program Grant Contract. Discussion.
Yes, this is a program that actually Isabella County was one of the first ones to apply for this grant. We've had it for years. It deals with the most difficult probation violators. So it's been fairly successful. So it's been a good program all around.
Very good. I'll just add that if you look through the jail tracker and see who our guests are, a lot of those folks are there for probation violations. So if you can get those folks to complete their probation, get back on the right track, remove those barriers that they might have to employment or housing or whatever, and get them on the right track, and it's better for everyone. Any further discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, a roll call, please.
Commissioner Jazinski, Commissioner Engler, Commissioner Marino, Commissioner Swaney, Commissioner Hutchinson, Commissioner Hope. 6 ayes, 0 nays. Motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
Second item, fiscal year 25 Adult DWI Drug Court Grant Contract. Motion reads, move to approve the fiscal year 25 Adult DWI Drug Court Grant Contract in the amount of $110,000 and authorize the court administrator to utilize DocuSign to sign the same.
Support.
Moved and supported to approve the fiscal year 25 Adult DWI Drug Court Grant contract. Discussion.
Well, Isabella County has entered into this grant contract since 2003, so we've been doing this for quite a long time. And we had asked for $186,000. And I think every time we've had this come through, it's come through for the same amount of 110,000, at least since I've been on criminal justice and county affairs. So Court Administrator Carrie Curtis has said that we can still put on the program for 110,000 since if we approve this today.
Good. Any further discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, a roll call, please.
Commissioner Engler, Commissioner Marino, Commissioner Swaney, Commissioner Hutchinson, Commissioner Jazinski, Commissioner Hope. 6 ayes, 0 nays. Motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, next up is fiscal year 25 juvenile drug court grant contract. The motion reads, move to approve the fiscal year 25 juvenile drug court grant contract in the amount of $102,000 and authorize the court administrator to utilize DocuSign to sign the same.
Support.
Been moved and supported to approve the fiscal year 25 juvenile drug court grant contract. Discussion.
Similar to the previous one, but it deals exclusively with juveniles. I'm on the right track, so.
Discussion. Hearing none, Madam Clerk, a roll call, please.
Commissioner Marino, Commissioner Swaney, Commissioner Hutchinson, Commissioner Jazinski, Commissioner Engler, Commissioner Hope. 6 ayes, 0 nays. Motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
Next up, subaward agreement between New York University and Isabella County. Motion reads, move to approve the subaward agreement in the amount of $21,000 between New York University and the County of Isabella for the period of October 1st, 2024 through September 30th, 2025, and authorize the board chairperson to sign the same.
Support. Supported to approve the subaward agreement between New York University and Isabella County. Discussion.
So this is a micro grant that was applied for with the Swift and Sure Sanctions Probation Program Administrator, and came across it at a meeting and was able to do a quick 3-page application and receive this $21,000 additional grant for us.
Very good. Any other discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, a roll call, please.
Commissioner Hutchinson,
Yes.
Commissioner Jazinski, Commissioner Engler, Commissioner Marino, Commissioner Swaney, Commissioner Hope. 6 ayes, 0 nays. Motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
County Fusion Cloud Search Renewal Contract with GovOS. The motion reads, move to approve option 2, the fixed annual and indexing service amount of the County Fusion Cloud Search Renewal Contract with GovOS, for a 3-year contract beginning February 24th, 2025 to February 23rd, 2028, and authorize the board chairperson to sign the same.
Support.
Been moved and supported to approve County Fusion Cloud Search Renewal Contract with GovOS. Discussion.
Yes, Registrar D. Jackson put a lot of time and effort into this, and it will save the county for a 3-year contract a lot of money over that time. So good job.
Further discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, a roll call, please.
Commissioner Jazinski, Commissioner Engler, Commissioner Marino, Commissioner Swaney, Commissioner Hutchinson, Commissioner Hope. 6 ayes, 0 nays. Motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
Next up, Central Dispatch Restructure Request. Motion reads, move to approve the Central Dispatch Restructure Request to eliminate a non-union grade 13 Operations Manager position and approve the addition of 1 POAM Dispatchers Unit
Support.
Been supported to approve the central dispatch restructure request. Discussion.
Our new director of emergency 911 emergency management, Chad Grittis, had come in and looked at his structure and has suggested a change, moving one of his management to personal dispatcher. So this will save the county about $43,000, and he assures us that it's a more appropriate structure for his unit.
Yep. I'll just add that I appreciate Director Geddes' kind of thinking outside the box there. And with over 8,000 calls a month, I can certainly see the need for another dispatcher. So this plan makes a lot of sense to me. Any other discussion? And hearing none, Madam Clerk, a roll call, please.
Commissioner Engler? Commissioner Marino? Commissioner Swaney? Commissioner Hutchinson? Commissioner Jazinski? Commissioner Hope? 6 ayes, 0 nays. Motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, fiscal year 24 emergency management performance grant agreement. The motion reads, move to approve the fiscal year 2024 emergency management performance grant agreement in the total amount of $8,937 and authorize the board chairperson to sign the same.
Support.
Been supported to approve the fiscal year 24 emergency management performance grant agreement. Discussion.
Yes, this is a grant that we've applied for several years. It now involves an enormous amount of paperwork to get it done, but we appreciate the effort to get it, even though the amount is small, but every little bit helps.
Every little bit helps, indeed. Any further discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, a roll call, please.
Commissioner Marino? Commissioner Swaney? Commissioner Hutchinson? Commissioner Jazinski? Commissioner Engler? Commissioner Hope? 6 ayes, 0 nays. Motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
Clerk.
At our last item, third amendment to the medical examiner services agreement with the University of Michigan Health Sparrow Lansing. Motion reads, move to enter into the third amendment to the medical examiner services agreement with the University of Michigan Health Sparrow Lansing for medical examiner services for the period of January 1st, 2025 through December 31st, 2025, and authorize the board chairperson to sign the same.
Support.
Been supported to enter into the third amendment to the medical examiner services agreement with University of Michigan Health Sparrow Lansing. Discussion.
We put out an RFP for medical examiner for next year contract, and Sparrow Hospital was one to come to the meeting and give us a proposal on the contract, which is good because we've worked with them in the past and they've been very good with us. We have a little bit of an increase in the contract that we'll have to amend on the budget because they now have required services that must be done in-house that they have to pay for instead of contracting out at a cheaper fee. And so, of course, we'll be paying part of that with the contract.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, a roll call, please.
Commissioner Swaney? Commissioner Hutchinson? Commissioner Jazinski? Commissioner Engler? Commissioner Marino? Commissioner Hope? 6 ayes, 0 nays. Motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
Chairperson Hope, that ends the business of criminal justice.
Thank you, Commissioners. Brings us to Human Resources and Public Works Committee.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Our first item is FY25 grant agreement between Isabella County, the Michigan Department of Military Veterans Affairs, and the Michigan Veterans Affairs Agency. The motion reads, move to approve fiscal year 2025 grant agreement between Isabella County, the Department of Military and Veterans Affairs, and the Michigan Veterans Affairs Agency for enhanced veteran service operations in the amount of $78,578, and authorize the board chairman to sign the same.
Support.
Been moved and supported to approve the fiscal year 25 grant agreement between Isabella County, the Michigan Department of Military and Veterans Affairs, and the Michigan Veterans Affairs Agency. Discussion.
Yeah, the Michigan Veterans Affairs Agency announced the availability statewide of 8.8 million in fiscal year 2025. And the CVSF grants, which include per capita carryover from previous years. So the base amount is $50,000. And there's also the part that's a per capita amount according to the number of veterans residing in the county. We get these every year, and this year the recommendation was in the advertising area to switch from billboards to gasoline tank pump screens, given that that really has gotten good feedback that reached a lot more veterans. Any questions or?
Any further discussion? Hearing none. Roll call.
Commissioner Engler? Commissioner Marino? Commissioner Swaney? Commissioner Hutchinson? Commissioner Jazinski? Commissioner Hope? 6 ayes, 0 nays. Motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
Our next item, City of Mount Pleasant demolition permit. Motion reads, move to approve the City of Mount Pleasant demolition permit in the amount of $150 for demolition of the Isabella County Administration Building and authorize board chair to sign the same.
Support.
Been supported to approve the City of Mount Pleasant demolition permit. Discussion.
Yes, this is presented to us by our facility director, Steve Shoemaker. It's basically a permit. It's not the demolition of a building, but the inner workings that needed to be tore down and moved out. And Steve went as far as contacting the city. The city has a permit that we need to purchase and move it through. And he actually took a tour with the gentleman and found that there's no interstructural integrity of the building, and we're ready to put it back together when we have the funds. Didn't charge us any additional fees. Thank you.
The only thing I have with this is such a routine operational need. I'm just wondering why it came before us. The information was good that they had the inspection of the building and that there was no damage to the structural members with the removal of the. But I keep thinking there's all these departments have got these small payments and this maybe is considered a contract, but we need to have a way not to be burdened down with a bunch of small pieces of business. That seems to be
Long as it gets
routine.
done. As long as it gets done.
It's money.
It's money.
Okay. Any further discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, a roll call, please.
Commissioner Jazinski? Commissioner Engler? Commissioner Marino? Commissioner Swaney? Commissioner Hutchinson? Commissioner Hope? 6 ayes, 0 nays. Motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, our last item is a lease agreement between Isabella County and Central Michigan District Health Department. The motion reads, move to approve the proposed leased agreement between Isabella County and the Central Michigan District Health Department commencing on October 1st, 2024, and authorize the board chairperson to sign the same.
Support.
Been supported to approve the lease agreement between Isabella County and the Central Michigan District Health Department. Discussion.
Steve Hall, the health officer for the Central Michigan Health District, was here to break this down for us. For several years, Isabella County had housed the administration of the Central Michigan Health Department there in this facility, and they entered into an agreement in 1997. We entered into an agreement, and over the 25-year agreement, the health department made the mortgage payments on the building, but we determined that there should be, since there was no lease still, we determined that there had better be a concrete lease for the next 4 years. And so our administrative controller and Steve met together with some other people and came up with a more modern lease. And this will be for 4 years. And then we'll look at it again, depending on what the circumstances are. Any questions or comments?
Yeah, I just want to comment on it. Steve really helped us out in this contract. I mean, there was word of that contract going down and in the times that we're in, less money is not good for us. So it worked out for them. It's a 6-county district health department, and they do of all the health department or all the things that I've been on, I've learned more from that coming out of that, the information, and it is just the WIC programs, that all the different programs they do for all these different counties. But it was very gracious of them to keep it at the same contract and the same level. So thank them very much.
Absolutely. And certainly it's a benefit to Isabella County to have them situated here.
Yes.
Okay, any further discussion on that? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, a roll call, please.
Commissioner Jazinski, Commissioner Engler, Commissioner Marino, Commissioner Swaney, Commissioner Hutchinson, Commissioner Hope. 6 ayes, 0 nays. Motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
That concludes the work of the Human Resources and Public Works Committee, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, commissioners, and we're going to move right down to new business. We have a couple items there. And item A, would someone like to present that item A motion for us?
Item A, Isabella County Administrator Controller Employment Agreement. Motion reads, move to approve Isabella County Administrator Controller Employment Agreement between Isabella County Board of Commissioners and Brian A. Smith, effective December 5th, 2024 through December 4th, 2025, and authorize the board chairperson to sign the same.
Support.
Been moved and supported to approve the Isabella County Administrator Controller Employment Agreement. Discussion.
So we're right on the day before we're going to lose a person that's done an excellent job for us, Administrator Nicole Frost. She's going to be a loss, be a hard person to replace. But if we had to pick somebody, I think Brian Smith is a very worthy candidate. I was employed under Brian in Gratiot County, and I thought very highly of him and his operation of the county there. So we've negotiated a employment agreement where Mr. Smith will start with us as our new county administrator on the 5th.
Just in time.
Just in time. You think there's some planning? Sometimes planning works out.
I was just going to say that met with Brian Smith and, of course, Chairperson Hope and Nicole Frost, Administrator, Teresa Bristow, our HR, to negotiate the contract. And I would say it was very pleasant, negotiations, and it was really good working with them in that meeting. So I look forward to working with them in the future.
Discussion. I'll just add, excited to have Mr. Smith come on and start working with him. New chapter. But anyway, hearing no further discussion, Madam Clerk, a roll call, please.
Commissioner Engler, Commissioner Marino, Commissioner Swaney, Commissioner Hutchinson, Commissioner Jazinski, Commissioner Hope. 6 ayes, 0 nays. Motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
Item B, which was added.
All right, item B, motion to approve the recommendation from legal counsel. I move to approve the recommendation from legal counsel regarding the release of notice in section 26.9 notice requirement.
Been supported to approve the recommendation from legal counsel. Discussion.
We met with legal counsel in closed session about union contracts and came to a decision to take a recommendation from legal counsel to remove notice under that contract.
Very good. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Madam Clerk, a roll call, please.
Commissioner Marino, Commissioner Swaney, Commissioner Hutchinson, Commissioner Jazinski, Commissioner Engler, Commissioner Hope. 6 ayes, 0 nays. Motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
Clerk, that concludes the new business portion of the meeting and brings us to general public comments. Is there anyone for general public comment?
Two things. I want to congratulate the Mount Pleasant Sacred Heart girls volleyball team for getting to the semifinals. They had a great year. And then also I want to congratulate the Beale City Aggie State Championship football team. Yoo-hoo, go Lions.
Go blue.
Any other announcements? Yes, sir.
So I did attend the Northern Michigan Counties Association meeting yesterday in Roscommon. Mac was there and they gave an update on the lame duck session. Apparently, the House only has 5 days, so maybe today is gone. Maybe you only got maybe 4 more
They
days.
didn't meet
I'm not sure
today.
how that calendar works out. Senate has a longer calendar, but they're both not going to be in session through the end of the month. So I think we're looking at this House, this 5 days. But some of the things they're looking at could be quite noteworthy for the county. One is they are looking at minimum staffing levels and collective bargaining agreements. There's also some discussion on health insurance premium, the hard cap adjustment under the Public Act, was it 152? Is a possibility of some kind of action. The septic tank statewide legislation, there seems to be a lot of support for it, and there's a lot of negotiation to get additional support. But the only thing I know is there has been an adjustment on the inspection frequency from 5 years to 10 years with an extended phase-in period for health departments. Extension could be given, so 1 year for the health department to be able to inspect all these tanks and come up with a plan. And if it doesn't work out, I mean, they can come back for additional extensions. But that seems like something that is very worrisome for MAC. There's some discussion about increasing tipping fees as a source of revenue for materials management, some of the planning, and because there's still not funding available and there's no guidance on plan documents. So even though we've been put on notice that we're going to have to work towards this, and we are working towards it, there's still a big question of how's this going to all roll out, but the cost has to be picked up by somebody. And I don't know how the state can, I guess they can mandate some state surcharge on private contract tipping fees, but that's one of the things they're looking at. Some of these, or all these, and none of these may see any kind of action in the lame duck session, but they're out there.
Good. Any other? Commissioner Engler?
Just a couple comments on what Commissioner Jazinski talked about. That septic tank regulations or proposal's been on there probably about 1.5 years now. And it just about passed a couple times, but the funding of it is what held that up. So, and also with the tipping fees, I said it would probably be not the worst thing to do, would be force a little bit more to the recycling facilities as far as that, but that's another one. There's probably is not going to pass because of the lobbyist efforts with the dump owners, I guess, landfill owners. I had, sorry, yeah. Kind of get used to these little word issues, but yeah, so I've been kind of watching both of those pretty closely, and at one time it looked like the septic was actually going to pass when they had a bunch of money, but now that the money's not there because they did analysis of how much it would cost to do some of that. They don't have the people to do the inspections.
I was just gonna say, they don't have the people to do it.
Yes.
I just wanted to say that the Health and Human Services Committee met and the MAC has had a letter writing campaign to the governor and the lawmakers about the revenue sharing trust fund. That's also been in Lansing for a long time and it passed the House, but we were waiting to see if the Senate did it. So I think there's about 6 or 7 more days to go. Today, they met today. And I just also wanted to say, if you go to michigan.gov, you can watch the sessions. Just look up the House or Senate.
Like to say, I wish the best in the future for our administrative controller, Nicole Frost. I hope there are many wonderful days with grandchildren.
Yeah.
Like to echo what Commissioner Swaney said, we hate to see you go. I know we kind of put you through the ringer last 3 years. It's been kind of rough. We appreciate all your hard work and we're sad to see you go, but also happy that you've got this opportunity that you're going to, chance to use that forestry degree after all this time. Yeah, absolutely. So thank you for everything. Yep. And with that, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Support.
Or, you don't know.